rural areas of low-income countries by providing basic public health services with the help of organizations like the UN, World Bank, the World Health Organization, and UNICEF. Now look at this document from the World Health Organization, in which they mentioned partners and agencies which are supporting the depopulation initiative. All are similar names that we have already discussed, but there is a very new and important name on the list: the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Remember how Kissinger said that biomedical research was the most important part of his plan for the depopulation agenda? In 1985, the Rockefellers began to pump tens of millions in funds annually to the National Institute of Immunology in New Delhi, India. For what? To research a vaccine to control fertility. Yes, you heard that right, a vaccine to control fertility. 7 years later, the Rockefellers got what they wanted, a vaccine for birth control, invented by the National Institute of Immunology in New Delhi in 1992. Rockefeller Research Funds created a vaccine that can prevent pregnancy by administering it every 6 months. In the year 2000, the Gavi Alliance was declared, whose main funder was Bill Gates. Who were the other partners? The WHO, World Bank, and UNICEF. What does Gavi do? They provide vaccinations to less developing countries. Does this sound familiar with Kissinger's reports? By 2000, the Rockefellers' global depopulation program had begun. And by 2020, with the introduction of the COVID pandemic, the plan was in full swing. And the elites were so pleased with themselves, they couldn't stop talking about it.
So in the session we just attended here at the Economic Forum, I think there was a sense of relief, actually, in your frankness. You brought up some issues that others are reluctant
That's my
to
trouble.
bring up.
Always. All the religious groups are against me because I'm talking about population. They want more souls. I want less on the planet.
Isn't it true that stopping the rise in population would be one of the biggest levers in driving the rise in greenhouse gases? Is that…
Well, I mean, we all know we expect 9 billion, right, by 2050. So yes, obviously less people would exert less pressure on the natural resources, and that's…
So is 9 billion a foregone conclusion that's like baked in, done, no way to change that?
Well, there again, there's pressure in the system to go toward that. We can definitely change those, right? We can definitely change those numbers, and we really should make every effort to change the numbers, because we are already exceeding the planetary carrying capacity today.
Of course, paid propaganda journalists and so-called fact-checkers will soon arrive to declare that this is a big conspiracy theory by citing references of the institutions which are clearly part of the conspiracy against humanity. But we have shown you Kissinger's original report, with the depopulation plan clearly printed in black and white. We have also shown you the WHO reports and the news media reports detailing the effects of the Rockefellers' depopulation plan. You can access these reports for yourselves. This power-hungry cabal of billionaires and politicians has long plotted to enslave the masses, and now they're making their move. But thanks to people who refuse to succumb to their brainwashing, people like you, the global elite are finding it much harder than they thought. Here at The People's Voice, we are determined to continue reporting on the plans of the elites. Please like and subscribe to this channel so we can continue sharing the news that the mainstream media dare not touch. And please share this video with anybody you think is receptive to hearing the truth. Stay strong, we are all in this together. Are you interested in reaching a large and growing audience? The People's Voice offers a unique opportunity to promote your brand to an audience of millions of engaged viewers. If you would like to sponsor or advertise on our show, please email sponsor@thepeoplesvoice.tv.
What if they're all criminals and the media is protecting them? Is that possible? Well, going on the past 3 years, I would say absolutely 100% yes. Did you know 50% of illness results from exposure to indoor air pollution from mold, a big contributor of this? Symptoms and illness due to exposure result from varying mechanisms including infection, toxicity, allergy, irritant effects, and systemic inflammation. Here we have Neil McRoberts, worth 70 million. Neil McRoberts and his family are the owners of Stockport debt recovery company, Moorcroft. Moorcroft began trading in 1985. So in less than 40 years, they're worth over £70 million. This man should be in jail. All he's done and all his company have done is hound and harass the poor people that can't afford to pay for whatever. And this piece of shit is worth 70 million. Well, when this whole shit ends, things like that should go to jail and all their properties and money confiscated and returned to the poor who he's stolen it from.
It's actually really quite interesting. It was kind of like an accidental discovery. People held their wealth in their homes in gold and silver. And then this group of individuals created what they call these safe houses. And safe houses is where people could go and give their silver, give their gold, and put it on deposit. And then the safe house would actually then give you a note of credit and say, you have 20 pieces of silver and 4 pieces of gold on deposit, here's your note. And any time they needed that money for transactions, they'd go back to the safe house, they'd